Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Mike Fussell here with your latest local sports action. We have a lot to talk about today as many area athletes are out enjoying the nice weather. But first, we'll stay inside with a look at some postseason hockey. The Ice Dogs laced up their skates for the first game of their second postseason series on Friday night against the Minnesota Wilderness. Fairbanks' Mitchell Bauman found one early in Minnesota. He was the lone scorer going into the first intermission. Spectators had to wait until the third to see another goal, as the second period was scoreless. But the Wilderness answered back to tie up the game with a shorthanded goal by Darian Romanko early in the final period. Romanko would stay hot and deliver another shot between the pipes just minutes later during a power play. The Ice Dogs were not able to respond by the final whistle, leaving the score at 2-1 with Minnesota taking the win. The Wilderness now have a 1-0 lead in the series. And many high school soccer teams were on the road this weekend, but Monroe and Hutchison's co-ed squad stayed in town for a Friday matchup. The first half saw no scoring as both teams controlled the ball in their own territory. But shooters converted opportunities in the second. JT Minder and Garrett Grawheck each tallied one for Monroe, while Logan Curtis collected a goal for Hutchison. Rookie Monroe goalkeeper Edwin Erickson helped seal the 2-1 victory for the Rams. With several key saves, Erickson says his teammates have really helped him get adjusted to the game.
Helping me a lot and showing me where to be and during goal kicks and PKs and stuff, and how to boot the ball better and stuff like that. They're helping me a lot. First of all, yeah, our defensive back line was really good, and we got a lot of good looks on goal, and we got lucky and got 2 goals, one more than them. So.
And the Allison Ravens and the Hutchison Hawks met up at Marlin Park for an early season baseball game today. Allison took advantage of a number of walks and stolen bases on several wild pitches, scoring 6 runs throughout the first 3 innings. Hutchison answered back right away at the bottom of the third, scoring a run, but from then on it was all Eielson. The Ravens got hot in the 5th inning where a double batted in 3 runs. They would go on to score more than 4 after that, nearing a mercy rule situation. Check back for full results and the scores to other games in the weekend recap with Joe Cook on Monday. And fighters from across Alaska and even as far as Chicago journeyed to the Carlson Center last night. Mixed martial artists went head-to-head in the 9th Solid as a Rock Fighting Championships. And the KTVF sports team got a chance to take a closer look at the action in the cage.
The Carlson Center was almost as full as the fight card last night at the Solid as a Rock Fighting Championships. Female grapplers stepped in the cage first to kick off the action. These bouts could only be won by submission and often went into multiple overtimes. But some of the MMA matches that would follow ended in a flash. John Howard took the technical knockout in the first round against Casey Collin with this solid striking performance, and 170-pound Derek Bush unloaded on Charles Wells for an early TKO as well. The third battle of the night pinned 2 local fighters against each other. Stephen Quadres got his hand raised in the final round after his opponent Austin Scallon was not able to continue fighting. In one of the first professional fights of the night, Parker Nielsen came out swinging against Michael Almiera. Nielsen landed a number of shots from his feet, but ultimately took it to the ground to finish the fight by submission.
So I just tried to keep the distance and punish his mistakes. Pop, pop, antagonize him, pull back, hopefully he'd come for something, exploit the weakness. I thought it was a dream come true. He hit the ground and I was like, the words don't describe the bliss I felt.
2 Goliaths battled it out in a heavyweight pairing just before the main event of the evening. Alton Price made 345-pound Jonathan Bishop tap out in round 2, taking the win in the big man class. The excitement mounted when Frostbite Valley Tuto's undefeated Vince Friclione won early against Michael Williams, who was unable to answer the local fighter's punches. In the main event, Anthony Pacho took on contender Seth the Mad Viking Kroll for the 155-pound title belt. Kroll leveraged his strengths as a stand-up fighter, landing a number of kicks to the head, but after the first bell, Pacho took it to the ground and forced Kroll to tap out in the second round.
He's isolating his head and his arm. And in the second round, I was like, you know what, he's going to do it again, but I'm going to capitalize, I'm going to put him away. But I felt it, and then I was squeezing, and usually, if you don't get that, you're going to burn your arms out, but I'm like, this guy, he was getting really tired. I was like, you know what, I know I'm going to get him.
Pacho holds on to the title belt with the win and is now 11-1 in professional fights.
And that about brings us to the buzzers for sports tonight. Stephanie Woodard is up next with your full weather forecast. Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next weekend.